Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zymox, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday Flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be of about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seatbelt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
What's up, good people? How's it going? Welcome to Weird Wednesday. What's up, Jamie?
Hey, hey. Your mic got a little quiet for a second.
What's that?
Your mic got a little quiet for a second.
Oh,
How come I was able to? You changed the intro.
yeah, it went back to the old one or the new one or whatever. That one. Yeah, it's a little longer than the first one.
See, I'm able to get the last link exactly as it ends.
Yeah, I finally got my old computer hooked back up and was able to pull a few things off it. I got it in the other room.
You've been testing mics, right?
Yeah. Yeah, as I'm sitting there making beaded jewelry, I've been testing out mics. I figure, I got up the other morning and started making jewelry. It was like 7:30 or 8 in the morning. Had my coffee, which was the worst cup of coffee I've ever made in my life. It was horrible. And yeah, I just had a little bit of coffee left of this one bag, and I was like, "Oh, I'll go ahead and use it." And it came out kind of weak. And then I added some instant coffee to that coffee once it was in the cup and mixed it up.
Oh
Man,
no.
it tasted like complete ass. It was horrible. But yeah, I was trying to force that nasty cup of coffee down, and I was making some bracelets, and I'm like, I'm sitting at the chair at my desk falling asleep. So yeah, I figured I'll go on and test out these mics, and it was crazy. I had people coming in that I hadn't talked to in years. I went on there for 5 or 10 minutes and ended up staying the first time for like 2 hours or 2.5 hours.
That's the one I think I caught towards the end.
Yeah, I had people that used to come in, like make surfboards in my shop like years ago. Haven't talked to them in forever. They were stopping by. They're out on your coast now making boards, and they stopped in and people here stopped in, and
Like a little reunion.
yeah,
That's awesome.
friends that have all lived with me at one point or another stopped in. Kids that I grew up with, they're all old ass adults now, like me, that I grew up with. Used to be in our little skateboard gang, surf gang.
So that's the good parts of social media and the internet. Those are
Yeah,
the good things. The
yep,
reasons like why I liked it to begin with.
yep,
The whole point of social media.
yeah, exactly. Mm.
Yeah, we gotta have a craft night one of these nights.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
I can work on my brooms.
Yep,
Finish this broom today.
nice. Let me get that. Where is it?
How do you say it? Kyanite?
Kyanite, yeah. Hold it up there again. Ah, there you go. Nice.
Totally on it. Whatever.
Crystal.
Yes. I had it on my wish list of projects I wanted to do for like a couple of years. And then I thought about it again recently when I saw the pictures. Thought I'd wait a little bit. Then you did the crystal of the week on the kyanite. I'm like, that's it. I'm making my brooms. So it's a witch broom. And it's got black kyanite fan or blade, whatever you call it, for the broom. And purple sandstone and black turquoise for the handle.
Nice.
I've got 3 or 4 other ones laid out.
Yeah, I've just been sitting there, making tons of bracelets. I took, I don't know, 30 something of them over to the crystal shop yesterday. And there's another 20 or so in here that are going to go to another store now. So that's cool. I got to get back to painting.
When you guys, when Janice and Linda are talking about it going fuzzy, are you talking about when Rob's camera goes fuzzy or the whole thing? Because once in a while, Rob's camera does that.
Yeah.
You need to paint again.
Yeah, I
But
do.
I know you have to get that spark of all of a sudden you're like, all right, I'm going to do it right now.
My problem is my paint area is overwhelmed with a ton of bullshit right now. So
My area has cat's ass on it.
Yeah, I got to
I just much room.
Yeah, I got to get it straightened up so I can. I mean, I could paint out in my living room, but then I got a chance of making a mess out there, and I don't want to do that. So, my dining room table right now is my beading area, so it's loaded with crap too. My whole house is pretty much like that. And throw all the fish tanks in on top of that. Wowzers.
How are your fish doing? I was going to ask you earlier today about that.
They're doing good, all except for the German blue rams. They started out really good, and everybody said they're hard to keep, And I was like, man, that's a piece of cake. They're all doing really good. Those little bastards started dying. I got one left. I'm ready to throw them out in the woods. I don't know. That tank has just been an epic failure. Everything else is my rainbow cichlids are doing great. I had 2 little tiny angelfish that I bought. They're not little tiny angelfish anymore. They're growing like crazy.
They'll grow to their surrounding, right?
Or bigger, yeah.
Really?
And yeah, I mean we've lost a fish here or there, but
that happens, especially in new tanks till the bacteria builds up.
Yeah, And we got a little sorority tank of betas. We got 3 female betas in that one. Still got Spec, the male beta. He's doing good. All my Rasboras and Panda Cories are doing good. Darcy's got shrimp that had babies, so now we got little baby blue shrimp and one of the
Oh,
other ones. Yeah,
I love the shrimps.
she's got a little pea puffer that is a total savage, like little tiny puffer fish, man. When we got him, he was like, I was like, holy crap, I can't even believe they sent one that small. But he's like doubled in size now, and the thing, man,
They can be little meanies.
yeah, man, you put snails in there, and he's just like attacks them and eats. Like, you can put 3 in there, he'll eat 3. You can put a dozen in there, he'll eat a dozen. He just has no bottom. It's like, holy crap, where do they go? But yeah, all the fish are doing great except for the damn German blue rams. They have. I was like, oh, I got this. Everybody said they're hard to keep going. I got this. They were doing great, and then all of a sudden they just started fighting. They started killing each other. I don't know what's going on. There's only
Is
one.
that what makes it hard because of the aggression, or
No, they're not really aggressive fish unless they're breeding. But I had 3 males and 3 females, and I think I'm down to 1 female left now. I had 1 male in there that just wanted to kick everybody's ass. I'm like, why? Get off my lawn. Why are you so upset, dude?
is that how they all died? Or
I don't know. They were fine yesterday, and went to feed them this morning. And I'm like, okay, where are you at? Oh, there you are, floating belly up on the bottom. Sweet.
they didn't have any bites, or were the fins nipped out or anything?
Oh. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
Do you test your water?
Yeah. I usually test the water, do water changes, the whole 9 yards. And I tested the water the other day, and
temperature.
Yeah, they like it warm. I mean, all my other tanks are, 78, 79. The German Blue Rams tank was 85, 84.5, 85. They like it warm, supposedly. I don't know. Maybe I boiled them. I don't know. Don't know what I did wrong with that tank, but it was just an epic failure. I was just like, I was concerned at first and freaking out, and then I was like, oh, screw you, little bastards. Cookie son of a bitches. So I'm probably gonna, depending on, well, whether the last one dies or not, I'm probably gonna end up moving her back into another tank, and I'm probably gonna move my angelfish into that tank because it's a bigger tank. And it's fully planted, live plants, it's a 30-gallon tank, plenty of room for these little fish that don't get bigger than 2 inches. And I only had 6 of them in there. Well, now I'm down to 1. 5 of them have crossed the pearly gates. So, yeah, just the little female is the only one left. So, unless I decide to get more, I don't think I'll be breeding German Blue Rams unless for some reason she's pregnant and lays some eggs somewhere. And I don't really see that happening.
You're going to breed them anyway, though?
Well, I was going to breed them. But probably not now. I was like, oh, they're hard to keep. I like a challenge. Yeah, it's a challenge. Kick my ass on them. I mean, we got like 10 tanks or so. They're all doing great except for that one. But who knows? Didn't work out in my favor on that one, that's for sure.
It's a learning experience.
It is. I hate that, you know.
They have to die over it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've lost a lot of fish due to learning experiences.
Yeah.
Seahorses, like exotic ass stuff too.
Yeah.
The stingrays and
Mm.
I
Yeah.
had a
My
little spotted,
had what?
a little blue spotted ray.
Mm. Yeah. The first bed of fish that I got, I put it in with in the little reservoir tank, and it died like the next day. And I should have, like, something was wrong with it, because all the other fish in that tank are fine, but that one just bellied up like right away. And it was acclimated and all that stuff. So I don't know. The place where I bought it from it's a really cool store, but every time I've been in there, they just have a lot of dead fish laying around everywhere. So
That's not a good sign.
that's not a good sign. We were going to get a pea pupper there, and their pea puppers, like, we went up there and there was like 3 or 4 of them swimming around, and there was like 6 dead ones on the bottom. I'm like, I don't really think that these don't look too good. So got the pea puffer from somewhere else. Ordered it offline, actually. And then my angelfish, I just, like, on a whim bought them at Petco. I think it's Petco or PetSmart. I can't remember. And the girl, when I bought them, the girl was like, yeah, we've been having some problems with their angelfish. So, if these don't make it, bring them back. I'm like, oh, I can bring them back. She's like, yeah, just bring them back. So,
Pet Extreme was like that, or Extreme Pet.
yeah, I got a couple of them, brought them home, and within a day, one of them just bellied up. So I fished his little dead carcass out and took him back to the pet shop. I've, like, never taken a fish back my entire life to a pet store, but whatever. I took it back, and she gave me another. Well, she said, I can give you your money back. I mean, it wasn't expensive. They were like $5.99 or something. They were little tiny angelfish. And so I can give you your money back, or you can get something else, or you can get another angelfish if you want. She goes, I'm just going to warn you. We've had really bad luck with this batch of angelfish. So I don't want you to buy one and take it home, or get one, and take it home and put it in your tank and kill all your other fish because it's got some disease or something. I'm like, well, there's nothing else in my tank but a single angelfish that I got from here. And I do have 2 coolie loaches in there, but I said, it's pretty much an angel specific tank. So she's like, okay, So I picked out another one, brought it home, and hey, he's been doing great. They're growing like
good.
So whatever I did in that tank, fixed them, and they're easily 3 times as big as when I got them just a month or 2 ago. So they're going to have to go up to the bigger tank because they'll get, like, they get pretty big. And it was funny because at first, for like the first good 3 weeks, you'd look at the tank and I'd be like, are they dead? Because I can't find them. They're nowhere to be seen.
Hiding.
They would just hide. They were like super shy. Now they'll eat out of my hand. They're just like little puppies. They see me walking across the room and they're like, it's food, it's food.
They do too.
Yeah.
I had a box or a cowfish like that, and he was like a little jet ski, and I'd go to the freezer to get, because they'd eat the frozen worms.
Yeah.
And I start opening it, and the fish would go to the thing and smiles, little pupper, kind of had that little pupper smile, shaking his little fin at me. I'd walk around, he'd swim around up and down the thing, following my hands, and I'd go and pet him. then he died, and I was able to dry him out and put him in my coral display because he could dry out like a seahorse or a starfish, like certain things. And I had a coral tank. And so when certain coral would die, a $50 cup coral, and the
Yeah.
tank, it dies, it's a nice $30 piece of coral now on the
Yeah.
coral display. And I figure, well, you go and you buy dried up, I have like these dried sea worm things and
Yeah.
or snakes, whatever. So when my own stuff would die, if they could be dried out.
Yep.
So yes, I still have my little cow fish.
Yeah, I got my big tank set up. I don't have it set up. The one I was building the stand for. I got the stand all done. The tank's on it. I got everything in it except for water and fish. But I'm gonna try to get it set up and get established. I'm probably gonna put African cichlids in that one or something. I thought about making a saltwater tank, but I don't know.
That is to be such a project. Buddy's sleeping.
Yeah. 5 kittens.
I'm sending Rob a picture of my cat right now on my side table. See, here comes my stuffy nose.
It's showing up.
It's showing right in time. I started looking for the first article, and there goes my nose. I've been eating Altoids, already using Vicks since I've been on here, trying to prepare. Why does this happen?
It's weird Wednesday stuffiness.
And this is something I saw like a month or so ago. But when I saw it, they actually had like babies inside these like big plastic dome looking artificial wombs. This had a video. I didn't send it because it's creepy. It shows that lamb down there in this artificial womb, and there's like things moving and stuff in it. It's just really creepy and weird. Whoops. I just accepted the cookies. Human trials of artificial wombs could start soon, and here's what you need to know. A hairless, pale-skinned lamb lies on its side in what appears to be an oversized sandwich bag filled with hazy fluid. Its eyes are closed, and its snout and limbs jerk as if the animal, which is only about 3/4 of the way through its gestation period, is dreaming. The lamb was one of 8 in a 2017 artificial womb experiment carried out by researchers at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. When the team published its research in April of that year, it released a video of the experiments that spread widely and captured imaginations, for some evoking science fiction fantasies of human beings being conceived and grown entirely in a laboratory. Now, the researchers at CHOP are seeking approval for the first human clinical trials of the device they've been testing, named the Extrauterine Environment for Newborn Development, or EXTEND. The team has emphasized that the technology is not intended or able to support development from conception to birth. Instead, the scientists hope that simulating some events of a natural womb will increase survival and improve outcomes for extremely premature babies. In humans, that's anything earlier than 28 weeks of gestation, less than 70% of the way to full term, which is typically between 37 and 40 weeks. The CHOP group has made bold predictions about the technology's potential. In another 2017 video, 1 second. Alan, a fetal surgeon at CHOP, who has been leading the effort, said, "If it's as successful as we think it can be, ultimately, the majority of pregnancies that are predicted to be at risk for extreme prematurity would be delivered early into our system rather than being delivered premature onto a ventilator." In 2019, several members of the CHOP team joined a startup company. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration will convene a meeting of independent advisors on September 20th to discuss regulatory and ethical considerations and what human trials for the technology might look like. The committee's discussion will be scrutinized by the handful of other groups around the world that are developing similar devices. It's definitely an exciting step, and it's been a long time coming, says Kelly. Clinicians who work with premature babies will be closely following this meeting, she says. So they go on to talk about the statistics of the mortality rates and the preterm rates and all the statistics and everything. In a natural womb, a fetus receives oxygen, nutrients, antibodies, hormonal signals, and gets rid of waste through the placenta. Of these various roles, artificial womb technology is most focused on providing oxygen and removing carbon dioxide, replacing the mechanical ventilators that are often used for the neonates. These can damage fragile developing lungs. The artificial womb would bridge a baby born extremely premature through those days and weeks when they're most at risk for lung and brain damage. And then they would then wean the babies off the system once their organs are more fully developed and healthy survival is higher. They'd be using extremely premature babies filled with an electrolyte-laden fluid designed to mimic amniotic fluid. Surgeons would connect the blood vessels in the umbilical cord to a system that oxygenates blood outside the body. The fetal heart would still pump blood as it does in the natural womb. Making the connection with blood vessels and the umbilical cord is difficult because of the arteries being tiny. That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can see, like, if a kid was born way premature, like how premature? I don't know. You know, like my goddaughter Sam's kid Nora, she was born like 2 months premature. I mean, she was tiny. She wasn't even as big as a loaf of bread. She was like this tiny little baby, and like, put that thing back in the oven, man. It ain't done yet. But yeah, I mean, she's a normal crazy kid nowadays. But yeah, she was hooked up to a machine pretty much for the first month of her life outside the womb. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of God playing going on in the world these days. And I don't know about a lot of that. And not just stuff like this, but you know, it's like they're making viruses, you know. Oh, this virus is 10 times more deadly than coronavirus. It's like, why do you want to make shit like that? Why?
75% higher kill rate.
I mean, I know why they want to do it, But why? Come on, man.
And I can just see this being just another step into lab grown humans.
Yeah, that's exactly what I see.
Once you start an embryo,
Yeah.
which they do anyways, all they're doing now is taking these they're already creating life all these different ways and then planting them in whoever has a womb that can carry it. Surrogates now is a big thing. Now you don't even have to have the human being and interview a person and worry about them taking off with your kid. Stick them in a globe.
Yeah.
A snow globe, you know?
That one scene, well, it's been the same kind of scene has been in several, ET type movies, where, they go aboard a ship and there's all these pods with, people or beings or whatever in them. I don't know, man. That shit's just scary.
I'm sending a picture of this one. So yeah, I seen one like this. Yeah, here's one with the baby. Now, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to go in a room and it's going to have a whole bunch of rows of this.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. That's just freaking weird. Artificial wombs. No thanks.
All these weird babies, because, I mean, they're indoctrinating the kids to become a certain way as it is taking other people's kids away and doing that. They don't even they can just cut all of that nonsense and noise out and just grow their own human beings for whatever reason they want them for.
Yeah.
It's creepy. I know that's totally out there, but it's like I can see it,
Oh yeah, I see that in the planning books already. It's just I mean, the creation of a baby, is like a miracle in of itself, and you should just leave it that way naturally. You don't need to be growing that shit, popping them out like Jiffy Pop. I don't know. Weird world. And it's like this, viruses, chips in your brain. People want to live forever.
I almost read that one tonight. Elon looking for human
I got
people
that.
now to.
Yep. Well, here's one that, might as well throw it up here again. We've already talked about it a couple of times. And then, everybody's like, well, that's fake. That happened. And it's been proven to be fake. Well, it's back again. As of last week, just not gonna die. It's the alien corpse claims that attracts widespread criticism from scientists. They're fake. They're real. They're fake. They've been proven to be fake. Okay, well, the article says, how do you say this guy's name? Is it, I don't know. His last name's Masson. Anyways, he recently presented what he claims to be the 1,000-year-old remains of two non-human entities. He's always, everybody says he's full of shit, basically, and he keeps making these fake things, and, they're presented, and he's always debunked and proven to be wrong. The hearing, which was a public assembly of the regulation of unidentified anomalous UFOs, invited Masson to present physical evidence of alleged alien entities that he claimed had been found buried between the Peruvian cities of Palpa and Nazca in 2017. The event was live streamed online, providing clear images of the beings, which appeared humanoid in shape, sorta, I guess you could say. I don't know. For tiny little stick people, in shape with unnatural proportions, flat faces, and crumbling statue-like bodies. Hassan went to claim that 30% of the DNA of these entities was unknown and that implants containing extremely rare metals had been removed from their bodies. He also maintained that the entities were not mummies but whole, complete bodies that have not been manipulated inside, and they have a series of elements that makes them truly extraordinary. Suffice to say, the whole thing has been met with considerable degree of skepticism, some arguing that the aliens are in fact human mummies that had been unearthed back in Peru in 2017 and then modified in some way to make them appear more alien. Son meanwhile remains adamant that these two entities are not from this earth. So, are they fake? Or are they real? Or they've been proven? We debunked them as fake. Okay, my question is, what proof do they have that these are fake? Just like, his proof that they're real. Just because somebody says these are human mummies modified. It's an awful fucking lot of modification if that was a human. I'm not saying they're real. I'm not saying they're fake. I'm saying I wonder. Everybody says they're fake. Oh, they've been proven. They haven't been proven. That's your opinion. It's somebody's opinion that they're not
A lot
real.
had something to do with like the cross-contaminated DNA that made it come up as inconclusive.
Yeah. So
did you see about the eggs though? That something about eggs being in them too?
I missed that part.
Yeah, there's supposedly eggs in them.
I don't know.
I've
Are
seen
they
it
real?
too.
Are they fake? I don't know. Not everybody, but a lot of people say, "Oh, that's bullshit. They're fake." Well, where's the proof that they're fake? Just as much as where's the proof that they're real? That's the thing. Is what about the theory of holy shit, those are real, and this guy's spilling the beans on them? We got to cover this up. Those things are fake. They're humans. It could just be a spin story to fluff them off. They're not real, when they could be. I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't be able to know if they're real. Like, if you could say they're real or not, I have to take whoever's word at it anyway because I have no comparison. I have nothing
I
to
know.
compare it to.
I mean, I could say, "Oh, that's bullshit. Those things are modified humans." I don't know what an extraterrestrial looks like. I don't have a clue. That could be what they look like. I don't know. I'm hoping they're a little bit fatter than that when they were not dehydrated and turned into a mummy, but who knows? You hear stories of people that have seen aliens and they say they're like 3 feet tall and got skinny long arms. Well, hey, that's kind of what that looks like with ET's head on it. I don't know.
And there's so many people, I believe, that they sell all these things to the highest bidders. They go through the pyramids before they even say they discovered this or that, and they chisel shit out of the walls, and they take artifacts and sell them to people and hide stuff in people's personal collections. So there's like bits of like the mysteries of the entire universe in the world all over the place.
Yeah. I don't know. The dude Masan,
So who knows what people have laying around?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this guy's, he's presented a bunch of other stuff that supposedly turns out to be fake, but that's when I question it, is if people are so adamant about it being fake, it's like, how has it been proven to be fake? And
I thought it had to do with the DNA. The DNA is what made it be fake. Or not fake, but not to be proven to be extraterrestrial. That's where I got confused, was the DNA saying that it was inconclusive meant, and they're like, oh, because it's inconclusive, it's not from Earth, but the inconclusive was the contamination. So I have no idea. because I
Yeah.
don't even know about that. Anybody can say anything. They can give me a damn DNA report. I don't believe it because I need to, in this day and age, I have to personally know the scientist that did that test. And I have to trust that person that, they're telling the truth. I don't trust anything anybody presents anymore. I can't.
Yeah. He says he went on to claim that 30% of the DNA in these entities was unknown. And there's implants that were taken out, rare metals taken
When I
out.
had my DNA done for that 23andMe, I have unknown DNA in me. It's like point whatever unknown in me.
I don't know. If there were aliens here, you always hear about stories of aliens that were here, whatever, 100,000 years ago, whatever, 10,000 years ago. Did they breed with humans? Maybe there's aliens that have our DNA and unknown DNA because we don't know what the hell it is. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
What were you saying about the metals, though?
It says he claims that 30% of the DNA of these entities was unknown and that implants containing extremely rare metals have been removed from their bodies. Okay, well, if they've been removed, where are they? And then what are they? They're unknown metals? I don't know. What if they've been removed, where are they? Where do they just take them out and the air hit them and they vaporize? I mean, where'd they go? A lot of questions.
We have metals. Like if they did ours, you'd see a shit ton of like aluminum and everything because of all the heavy metals that we're contaminated with. But the only way to remove that is to have like blood filtration to take the metals out of the blood that way. So I'm confused about how you would take metals out of, like, what they mean by that.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like metal implants of some.
So that's, oh.
So I don't know. I mean, Terry Lovelace has had metal implants taken out of him. Supposedly.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. Why would you believe Terry Lovelace had implants taken out of him and not believe these little critters had implants taken out of them? I don't know. Yeah, the dude's not the most credible. But then again, if it is real, maybe the government is like, oh, we got to put a spin story on this and just cancel this guy out because he's spilling the beans. These might be real, and they may be just saying, oh, this guy's full of shit. They're not real. Don't believe a word he says. I don't know. Be a great way to cover something up.
And the DNA is actually saying unknown and not inconclusive. It's saying unknown.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah. Janice says they were put through a CT and X-ray scan recently. National Post has an article on it.
Did you see the eggs?
Yeah, I haven't seen the egg thing yet. I mean, somebody stick some boiled eggs in there and say, hey.
I know, it looks funny. It looks like there's like a duck and a goose egg.
I don't know. Just like, there's people that, hey, there's a 8-foot alien, a 10-foot alien in my backyard, and that becomes world news, and then this guy comes out with these things and it's like, it's Musan. He's full of shit. Those aren't real. It's just funny how some things are believed and others are just completely blown off by a lot of people. I don't know. Yeah, they do look like weird little eggs.
There's another article. Wait, where is it? It was this one. And they mentioned in this, because I thought, well, who's this publication? And then when I was reading this Newsweek one, it says, it mentions in here about eggs. So I don't know, because I looked the other side up. This NDTV is actually like a satire entertainment site. So I don't know if they added the eggs in that as the joke, and that's what makes it satire. But when I looked up New York Post, when I was reading it, and they're talking about the scan and everything, it said it mentioned it may have been reproducing and something about eggs. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's true, Craig. I mean, like, yeah, I always say, hey, aliens could land in my backyard, just like the people in Vegas, whatever. Is that true? I don't know. Most people don't believe it. They're like, oh, people are faking it. That's bullshit. UFO could land in my backyard. I could go out there and videotape it. They could come in. I could make them pancakes for breakfast and post it online, and people would go, that guy Rob's full of crap. He photoshopped that. And then they could hit me with, look into the flashy thing, and it'd be like, what day is it? Where am I? I don't remember any aliens.
But my butt hurts.
But why does my butt feel like it's been stretched out?
What was that South Park song? All of a sudden, Cartman would talk, and that little song would play.
Yeah. Did you see the article from what's his name? Fox Mulder used to be on X-Files. I was gonna do that if it was like his spin on aliens, and then I read it and I was like, no, okay. But it was kind of funny. He said,
"Oh, that was on the Extreme or Unsolved page, right?"
Yeah. He said, back in the day, before they used to house people, in mental asylums or whatever, they used to pack up all the crazy people, put them on a ship, and just send them out into the middle of the ocean. That's how the Ship of Fools thing came about. He's like, that's how I kind of believe what is up with the aliens is they put all the perverted and the weird aliens on a ship, and they just send them to the far reaches of outer space, and that's where we are, and that's how come they like to probe our butts and do weird things to us. This ship of alien fools.
Huh. I don't know about that one. But this one, buddy, why him making those grunt noises? Legend of a female ghost who swiped kids and hid them under droopy breasts.
Them some big ass titties.
This is something I've never seen on an investigation before.
Yeah, I've never seen.
I was looking for this scary, screaming, crying, weeping woman or something, and instead there's this lady hiding kids under her boobs. A legendary female ghost said to swipe kids and hide them under drooping breasts has made horrifying waves through terrified youngsters. Wee Wee Gombo, the child kidnapper, may sound like a wild story of paranormal power, and that is exactly what it is. For generations, the tale has sparked fear in the hearts of badly behaved youngsters. The wild backstory to Gombo's hauntings comes from a marriage to the love of her life, which ended after her husband began to cheat on her. She found him in bed with another woman, killed him, and in turn, Gombo was hunted down by their neighbors. Cornered by her ferocious neighbors, Gombo is said to have taken her own life, and now her soul wanders around, snatching children and stuffing them underneath her breasts to protect them. The infertile ghost has caused concern among the locals of Indonesia, with real-life cases now linked to rumors of apparitions and gory Gombo appearances. One case in 2017 saw a child disappear without a trace, and some wild claims were made at that time. A day after the disappearance of the young boy in Medan, he reappeared from a bush looking disoriented, with agreements made at the time over Gombel's involvement. The old wives' tale certainly has some on tender hooks, though others believe the ghost is simply misunderstood and her hatred for missing children comes from her infertility. Oh, I didn't send you this. This is a scary one. Other facets of Gombel appearances include random collection of bras being found at alleged spots of her sighting, as well as where she takes children from. So I guess she snatches a kid and leaves a bra in this place. Folklore reveals she only takes those with abusive parents. Whether this is guilt-tripping action against horror adults or a way of attempting to save the children from alleged bad behavior is up for debate. Riza says the ghost has been largely influenced by Buddhist and Hindu culture, namely sacred beings. She added during harvest, the Javanese pray to goddess Sri, while men's power is typically depicted by phallic symbols. Women's vigor is symbolized by her womb. It's a life giver. Despite the lack of evidence surrounding the existence of Gombel, Riza added there is a fundamental nature to ghost stories, which means they last forever. She said technology is always advancing, but ghost stories will always remain. These stories contain a message passed from our ancestors, and they will not diminish so easily. Look at this one, Rob. That would be a scary. Like I don't get pretty scared or rocked by things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But now, if I ran into this in the dark, I think I might feel some sort of way.
Yeah. Those are some. When they're hanging that low, if you can be hiding multiple kids under your boobs, wowzers.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. If you're like going down a dark hall at night and you see that.
I mean, I like boobs. I ain't gonna lie, but damn.
Those ones you can tie around your neck like a scarf.
Wow.
But yeah, that's one myth I've never heard or tale I've never heard. The ghost woman that snatches children and hides them under her boobs.
Yeah, I have kind of missed out on that one.
I don't know how I missed that. Extra arms.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see what Ulrich says?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Well, we go from them artificial wombs to extremely stroopy.
Stroopy.
That's when they're that droopy. They go from
they're stupid droopy.
Stroopy boobs. Now we go to let's just shove some.
Oh, you're doing it.
Neuralink chips in your brain. Why not? Let's look for somebody that'll just volunteer their brain to do it. Elon Musk's neurotechnology company, Neuralink, has opened an application process for people who want to be implanted with his brain-computer interface device. Despite criticism over its safety, could that possibly be a concern?
Oh.
Tesla and ex-CEO Elon Musk's neurotechnology company Neuralink has revealed it's looking for people to trial its brain-computer chip, despite fierce criticism of its deadly animal tests. Yep, they tried it on animals, and that was an epic failure. The company got the green light from an independent review board to start their brain computer interface testing on people suffering from paralysis and cervical spinal cord injuries and amyotrophic, I'm pretty butchering that name, lateral sclerosis, ALS. Musk has previously claimed that BCI will enable some people with paralysis to use a smartphone with their mind faster than someone using thumbs.
Oh, Jesus.
He and his company will now initiate recruitment. You have been recruited for your brain chips for the first human trial of its brain implant. But neither stated the number of participants to be enrolled in a trial, which is expected to span approximately 6 years. During the study, a robot will implant the chip in a brain region responsible for the intention to move. Musk's aim for this person's thought of control or a computer cursor or a keyboard. In May, Neuralink announced it had obtained FDA clearance. That means they paid the FDA. Because
Yes.
the FDA just, they'll approve you shit if you pay them.
I mean, the animals all died and everything. Hell, the next step was try it in a human now.
Hey, why not? The FDA threw the clearance for its first in-human clinical trial. The company initially wanted to test it on 10 humans, but reported the FDA was concerned when they saw the number and they revisited it, although the final figure was not disclosed publicly. Probably went from 10 to 100. Part of the organization's concerns come from the animal testing of the chip. In April of 2021, the company demonstrated its progress by showing a
Weren't the monkeys like actually blowing? Their brains were like blowing up, like microwaving in their heads.
It showed a monkey with one of the link chips playing Pong. Pager is shown using a joystick, and then only its mind with. Good God, I can't read. It's using a joystick with its mind via the wireless connection, according to the company. However, the animal tests also yielded negative press. Company reportedly implanted Bluetooth-enabled chips into the monkey's brains in order to communicate with computers via a small receiver. It's thought, though, that the unfortunate test subjects suffered major infections from the implanted electrodes placed in their brains and therefore perished. They should have washed them better because they probably put COVID in their brains or something by accident. I don't know, man. I can see, he says that if the chip works like he expects it to, that somebody like Stephen Hawking could have got out of his wheelchair and walked again.
Yeah, and
implant.
I think there was even at the beginning before they were talking about his like a year ago or however long it's been. I think there was actually some experiment or something where they did do something to some guy and he was able to walk, whatever it did, it did fix him.
Yeah.
Or they made that up to, I don't know, but I did hear something in the beginning, and then Elon started, talking about his stuff, and I knew what was happening to the monkeys, and I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, these are mad scientists. Mad scientists.
I see the good in it. I mean, if you had ALS or something, you were in a wheelchair, you couldn't move, you couldn't walk, you couldn't do a damn thing but just sit there and suffer, and they say, hey, we can put this chip in you, and within a month or so you'll be up walking around. It's like, hey, go for it. I mean, that would be pretty amazing if that was your
that's what they were creating it for.
Yeah, but that's where it starts. Where does it end? Okay,
Wi-Fi in the brain and 5G and mind control and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, now we got soldiers, because all that shit just depends. It all eventually ends up weaponized.
Exactly.
It's like you can't just leave good enough alone. Can't just let things be healthy. Can't just use it for, use it for good. No. Ooh, we could use this to make new weapons, more power, more power. We need more power. We need more control. No, you need to sit your greedy ass down, eat a peanut butter sandwich, and just be a human like the rest of us.
God, someone read a book.
I was watching a thing yesterday about, the laser weapons that they have. Oh, that's conspiracy. There's no such thing as laser. Oh, bullshit, there's laser weapons. That whole thing in Maui is a huge, giant turd. Why won't they let people video? Why won't they let people go back to their house, retrieve stuff out of their safe? You can't go back there. You can't take pictures. They don't even want you talking about it. Right there shoots up.
Have you noticed that you don't even hear shit about it?
Yeah, you don't. I mean, they're scrubbing videos off the internet from people that have, taken pictures or sent a drone up or even some helicopter news footage. It all keeps getting scrubbed off the internet. Why? What are they hiding? Why? It was a fucking fire. It was a wildfire. It happened by accident, right? That's the story.
So why is it so hush hush?
Yeah.
And another thing that's weird is there's always Facebook frames for pray for Florida, pray for Hurricane Irma, pray for Ukraine. Anytime pray for Texas, anytime anything happens, where's pray? Sorry, Dave. Where's pray for Hawaii?
Screw Maui. That's the new frame. Yeah, I don't know.
But no news source is talking about it anymore. It's like it never happened. Just like remember when it's a little different, but when somebody tried to blow up the president's car last year in the airport by the fuel tanks.
Yeah.
And Hertz said that they were going to have to be the ones to investigate it because the Secret Service said nothing to see here, even though that looked like an attempted assassination on the president.
Yeah.
Nobody's brought that up again.
Yep. It's just been move along, nothing to see. It was an accident. It was a very hot day. 5 cars blew up. Climate change, exactly. It can all be explained away. There's no such thing as UFOs. It's always something explainable. A weather balloon.
Climate change.
A drone. Yeah. Everything has an answer that is so stupidly proposed.
Well, y'all might not want to see the video. It might be a little disturbing. But this is nature. This happens. Is it nature?
Big bada boom.
Yeah. I almost walked into one of these in 2020. I have the video of it. I was walking in the street. All of a sudden, this big bolt comes down right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think there's something weird about that year. I don't think it was actual real lightning. How do you say that? Aguila? Killer lightning bolt zaps 2 beachgoers to death in terrifying footage. So the odds of all this is crazy. Just the odds of it happening, and then the odds of this person happening to be recording it at the same time. A horrifying video has captured the moment 2 people were struck down by the same lightning at a beach in Mexico. Another person was left injured in the incident. The footage, which is going viral on social media with millions of views, was captured on the beach in Aguila in southwest Mexico. It shows a person being hit by a bolt of lightning as another person who was standing nearby was hit by the same bolt. Mexican authorities have since confirmed that 2 people who were fatally hit by the lightning were a tourist and a hammock seller. The first person, which reports say was a woman, died on the spot. However, a man was said to be the second victim, also died although he passed away after being taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Reports say a third person was injured in the incident and that they survived. People have since expressed their condolences for the families of the dead and said they were shocked at the images. It is a common misconception that lightning never strikes the same spot twice. It does. In fact, it does in fact strike the same place repeatedly, sometimes in quick succession, according to the U.S. UNOAA. The news comes after a charity worker who survived a 950 million volt lightning strike opposite the White House spoke out about her SPKE. I don't know, this whole line isn't spelled right. Something about the White House and her road to recovery. Amber, 28, was in Washington, D.C. for her birthday when 6 bolts of lightning hit the spot she was standing in the space of half a second. Damn, so in half a second. The freak weather event killed 3 other people who have been identified. And they give their names. The group were visiting the Capitol for their 56th wedding anniversary and sheltered under a tree from the summer storm. Yeah, so I get really skeptical in some of this lightning.
Big bada boom.
Debbie's had lightning in her yard multiple times in the same spot. But that's crazy. They were recording like right when it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I still wonder what happened to me when I was a kid in my grandmother's backyard. I don't know if that was lightning or if it was aliens or what.
Not saying it was aliens.
I'm saying it was aliens, but play in slow motion.
Oh, I bet it was.
Bzzz.
I mean, just the way it just hit that,
What's that?
like the way it just hit that person directly. Is it just because they were the thing on the beach for it to grab onto? Or
I don't know.
were they in the wrong spot?
Yeah, I was trying to figure if it hit a person directly or if it just hit the ground close to them. I don't know, but
It looked like it hit them directly right there, like the whole person glowed.
Yep. Yeah, you know, there's been people that have been struck by lightning more than once. It's like, what is up with that person? Why? Because,
That's crazy.
it's not like getting struck by lightning is a high probability in the first place. If you get struck by lightning once and you live to talk about it, that's pretty miraculous. If you get struck twice, that's just plain weird. There's like, I wouldn't want to hang out with that person. Like,
No.
weather's getting bad. See ya. I gotta go.
I wouldn't want to fly with that person.
Yeah. I don't know. High sketchiness.
Oh, yeah, because they're taller than the ground. So it did just like get attracted to the person to grab.
I saw this one. Where am I at? Share the screen. God, too many steps to just share a screen. Time traveler from 2671 warns deadly disasters turn home to ruins next year. Wait a minute. He's from 2671? Apparently so. So he says. There's been a couple of time traveler articles
Yeah.
floating around. But this guy, Eno Alaric, claims 2024 will be much worse than 2023 when it comes to natural disasters. He says January 29th, many Category 5 and Category 6 hurricanes form, because currently they don't even have a 6. So 5 and 6 hurricanes form due to extreme heat wave from the sun. USO, Mexico, and upper South America will get hammered with hurricanes. Hurricanes.
He probably works for HARP.
Yeah. Millions will lose their homes. February 17th, the first ever F6 tornado hits Houston, Texas.
February is when I said our life is supposed to end next year.
Texas, it destroys almost the entire city, making it the most devastating tornado in history. I don't know, this guy's making some hella predictions, and just the fact that, said he's from 2671. Well, apparently it didn't kill the earth if he's in the future and he came back to talk about it. Wait a minute, how old would that be?
Because that's not enough time. Like, I believe we're about to have a reset, that the whole earth is going to reset eventually again. Yeah. But that takes like billions a year. You know what I mean?
Yep. I thought I had a video, but I don't. He makes several other predictions all the way through the year there. But I don't know.
I do see stuff like that happening as part of my end of the world scenario, kind of.
Yeah.
So he could just like seriously work for one of these agencies, and that's his only way to like put it out there without like calling them out. Maybe he's just like, oh yeah, I'm a time traveler and this is what's going to happen. Like his way of warning people, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I can totally see that. I've been ready for that for like a while now. About 5 years ago, when you guys had that other big hurricane, and you could just see the way that things were changing, that the weather, like normal, had like shifted.
Turquoise says, well, there goes my plans to move to Texas. Yeah. I don't know. Man.
Oh, yeah, wet feet on the beach.
Freaky. There's been some freaky weather already. But I don't know. Been freaky weather before too. I've looked up history of the weather here, and it's like people are like, oh, flooding's getting worse. The heat's getting worse. Well, you look up the history books, there was some serious flooding here like 60 years ago. Hell, not even that long ago. I remember where my grandmother's house is. They said in 64 during Hurricane Dora, the water was like all around that, like over the sidewalk, up the steps, everything. And in my almost 60 years of living in still to this day, seeing my grandmother's old house, I've never seen it flood that bad. So, is it getting worse? Or do you just forget about how it used to be?
I think they're forgetting things because a lot of the stuff that they're saying, oh, it's going to happen out here, but it happened like 70 years ago. It's like, yeah, see, it's happened before is the thing. Yeah. It's not like unheard of. Like that's what happens.
Yeah.
I thought this was a silly one. A ghost hunting couple locked in a divorce battle over custody of ghouls they befriended.
Hmm.
A popular social media ghost hunting couple are locked in a bitter divorce battle over the spirits in their haunted museum after they announced their split. Lindsay Steer, 53, announced her pending divorce from husband Lee Steer, 37, on Facebook. I've never heard of them. After 7 years of running Project Reveal, Ghosts of Britain, the duo owned the Haunted Objects Museum in South Yorkshire, which is now the battleground for their divorce, as the former couple clash over who owns the possessed items, which include dolls, paintings, and even a human skull. The bickering has resulted in the closure of the popular museum, and the duo say they are ready to call in the lawyers to get the debacle sorted. Lee even admitted to sneaking back into the museum to take back what was his, as payback for his ex-wife still having thousands of pounds worth of ghost hunting equipment following their breakup. However, Lindsay claims Lee had the opportunity to pick his stuff up. Paradrama. Lee scooped up 3 haunted dolls, including Conjuring-inspired ragdoll Annabelle, that has been featured in the media as the former couple believe it may contain the spirit of the original. Lindsay claims that she realized the items had vanished when she was walking around the museum a week after the split and got a gut feeling to approach haunted bridal doll Elizabeth, only to find she was missing. Lindsay said that she was devastated and immediately had the museum's locks changed. The soon-to-be divorcee claims she doesn't know herself and doesn't know how herself and her ex will divide up the items, and admits they may even have to sell some of them. Lindsay says the solicitors said to him that if he wants to go in, I will go with him. If I want to go in, he comes with me so we can protect each other's things. She added, it makes me emotional. There are things that just can't be replaced, and that is going to be the worst for me. We have a real human skeleton and a mortuary table. Those things, you talk about sentimental items, right? Those sort of things you can't have in a house, and I'm not going to sell them to someone if they have something spiritual attached to them. Ex-partner Lee, who has been ghost hunting for 25 years, claims he is equally uncertain about the future of the museum and says that he feels as though he's losing his life's work. Nobody cares about the relationship.
Yeah.
He said a marriage breakup is causing so much unnecessary chaos that could easily be avoided. Hopefully things will work out in the future in terms of who has what. They're priceless items to me because I've been doing it all my life. The former couple are now both continuing to ghost hunt independently, with Lee continuing to run the original Project Reveal, Ghosts of Britain page. Meanwhile, Lindsay has started a separate Ghosts of Britain GOB page where she shares her own paranormal investigations online.
I'm taking my ghost box and going home.
There's like literally no comments.
Really?
I was looking to see what they said. Nobody had anything to say.
Mm.
And this house somehow made it into an article.
Yeah.
I really don't know who they are. Like, I think I maybe have heard that Project Reveal, but that could have been the name of some other show.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it's not like, oh, my grandma's, China and this and that. It's like, but we've got a human skeleton and a mortuary table. What am I going to do with my mortuary table?
We can't just
Like,
sell
this is these people's problems. I wish those were my problems.
Yeah, I know. What are you gonna do, right? Well, this one isn't a news article per se, but it's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. It's a spooky story of a haunted place. Looks kind of creepy, doesn't it? I don't know. Two stories. I'll read this one first. Thrill seekers traveling to Colombia will likely be attracted to a true scary story surrounding the Hotel de Salto, a former hotel turned museum purported to be one of the most haunted places in the country. Hotel del Salto, which translates to Hotel of the Leap, has allegedly been haunted since it was first constructed as a mansion in 1923. It was designed by architect Carlos Arturo Tapias and was inspired by the French architectural aesthetic that was popular during the time. Its location overlooking the famous Tequendama Falls gives the mansion its breathtaking views. But according to some creepy stories, the falls may be also the source of its alleged hauntings. The mansion was a scene of many lavish parties and by 1928 was turned into a popular hotel. But then the horrific tragedies began. Hotel patient, hotel patients, hotel patrons inexplicably leaped to their deaths out of their windows. At least one homicide took place there when a guest brutally murdered a young socialite in one of the rooms, splattering the walls with her blood. Meanwhile, guests of the notorious Hotel de Salto claimed to witness spooky apparitions that appeared around the hotel at night, including the ghost of the murdered socialite. In local legends, the falls are said to have been where many people of the indigenous Musaka tribe escaped from Spanish colonizers by leaping off the nearby cliffs centuries before. Though the native legend says that the Musaka were incarnated into flying eagles as they jumped off the cliff, thus surviving the brutal plunge, or were they just hitting the peace pipe really hard before they did that? Locals believe the land has since been cursed by the Misaka, and some may have not survived their attempts to escape the Spanish invaders. Even after it was shuttered in the 1990s, scary stories about the hotel continued to emerge. Some claim that loud screams can still be heard coming from the abandoned hotel. Additionally, they say the constant mudslides on the road to reach the property and the stench from the heavily polluted water further prove paranormal activity is on the grounds. Today, the once run-down hotel has been converted into a sleek and stylish cultural museum. Curious visitors can tour the former hotel, but only during business hours, which promptly ends at 5 p.m., well before any scary stories or ghosts appear. I don't know.
That is incredible.
The other little article I found was about an aquarist for the Northeast Fisheries Science Center in Woods Hole, Massachusetts. Anybody live there? When you work in an aquarium, you get used to a multitude of different noises: hissing air supply lines, rhythmic cycling of seawater pumping systems, splashing aquarium specimens, and sometimes barely audible conversations between aquarium visitors. We have a lot of people walking and talking throughout the aquarium for most of the day. But then there are other times when you're working here alone. Doors are closed to the public, coworkers are gone. It was usually during these times that I would see what I at first thought was a visitor that hadn't signed in at the front desk, a scientist wandering about on a lunch break, or a coworker who came back into the building because they forgot something. Then I'd remember it couldn't be any of those things. I was alone in here. My visitor would allow me to see him in only two locations: behind the scenes area on the second floor and in the basement. In the public area, the backup gallery, I'd see the shadow of an older man, large in stature, generally off in the distance, passing through my peripheral vision. I can't always be certain that it isn't someone passing, though. Although I'm nearly always certain I'm alone in the basement, I'll always see the reflection of a bearded man peering into the glass of one of the tanks I was checking, off my shoulder as if standing beside me or behind me. In the beginning, I'd naturally turn around expecting to see someone, but no one was ever there. I've now stopped turning around. I simply assume that it's a quiet observer and a curious mind, or perhaps the man who's still vested in the work we do for the public, in a location that held a dear place in his heart, and whisper, "Mr. Baird, is that you?" Yeah, I've been in a few situations like that.
That place is incredible.
Yeah, this place is pretty cool looking. Makes you wonder, though, like, what would it take? Some kind of little, like you just had a little earthquake out there.
Probably not much.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much to just send that whole thing sliding downhill.
Because you can see exactly where, the weak spots, if you just,
Yeah.
how that whole thing would just go like that.
I mean, I'm sure it's an awesome view. Especially, I guess, if you wanted to jump out of the window and kill yourself. But yeah, I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It makes me think of just like Pacifica and how these houses just went right off the cliff.
Yeah. Here, we don't really have to worry about that. We just have to worry about our houses falling in a sinkhole, a cliff opening up under your feet. Whereas out there, you guys have houses built on the side of cliffs.
Eroding cliffs.
Eroding cliffs.
This one made me think of that story of the woman that was on the plane that saw the person, that said she saw the person in the back.
Yeah. I heard she's been offered a lot of money to do
Was that her?
I think so.
I had the article and they said it was a model that screamed F you, whatever. They said to do porn or something, like hella money to do porn. I almost read it today. Then I'm like, wait, I don't think that's that same lady though, was it?
I don't know. It might be. I don't know. I just had a feeling it might be.
Yeah, I see that too. This is from August 9th, though. Airline passenger claims to see 3 ghosts watching him on plane. Passengers on a Russian flight were delayed after a man got up and began screaming he had seen ghosts, according to reports. In a video of the incident, the man is heard demanding that the plane not take off and appears to be inconsolable. The incident reportedly happened on a Russian S7 Airlines plane, and the flight was intended to leave from a place in southern Russia to St. Petersburg to the west. Newsweek contacted S7 Airlines for comment, and they could not verify when this incident took place. Anton, advisor of the Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine, shared the clip on Wednesday to his page. A flight of a Russian S7 airline was delayed for 3 hours because one of the passengers saw 3 ghosts of Wagner mercenaries who were watching him, according to the man. The crew could not get him to calm down. In the end, the man was taken away by police and taken to a psychiatric hospital. The clip was also shared on the Telegram channel of the Russian online publication. The post has so far been viewed over 336,000 times. Both publications identified the man shouting from the video as 39-year-old Vitaly. and said he has no problems. He had no problems during check-in and boarding. Stop the takeoff. I'm not kidding, the man can be heard saying in the clip. Stop the takeoff. Do it fast. Stop the takeoff quickly. Do it fast. I can see. Stop the takeoff. Make a stop. The publication added that the man talked to his mother and was calm, but as the plane was preparing to take off, he jumped up and ran to the flight attendants. The passenger demanded to stop the takeoff because he was allegedly pursued by 3 unknown people from the PMC Wagner private military company. It seemed to him he was being pursued by a phantom PMC. As a result, the flight really had to be postponed for 2 hours. He was hospitalized with a preliminary diagnosis of schizophrenia. A seemingly similar incident happened in July. Oh yeah, that down here that they bring up that lady. A seemingly in the I didn't see it earlier because the TikTok or Twitter video thing loaded funny. A seemingly similar incident happened in the U.S. in early July with a passenger now identified as 38-year-old Tiffany, who caused a scene and shouted in the plane aisles. In the July 2nd footage, she can be seen striding down the aircraft's central aisle shouting, "There's a reason why I'm getting the F off," and everyone can either believe it or not believe it. I don't give 2 Fs, but I'm telling you right now that mother effer back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can effing die with them or not. I'm not going to. Video of this incident attracted millions of views across social media. The incident caused several hours of delays for other passengers. See, I was going to look up that date to see how close together. So July 2nd, and the other one was when?
April. August 9th.
Yeah. So I don't know what's happening in the air.
Whoa, that's loud.
And we have to trust that's really what, they're saying.
There's a man on the way. Just what you want to have happen when you're on a plane. Have somebody like totally flipping out, whether they're seeing something or not. Can't make you too comfortable.
Yeah, plus the inconvenience of having to be delayed 2 hours.
Not to mention, the people that like want to open the door and jump out because they're so freaked out. I don't know.
Wagner mercenaries, that'd be pretty freaky. Do you have another one?
Nope, just my crystal video. You got more?
Yeah. This one I thought was cool because it's the earthquake lights. Strange lights spotted in the sky before Morocco's earthquake. And so that's like a phenomenon where there's these weird lights that appear around these earthquakes. I'm just going to kind of look through this article. It's kind of long. Reports of earthquake lights, like the ones seen in these videos, captured before Friday's 6.8 magnitude earthquake in Morocco go back centuries to ancient Greece. These outbursts of bright, dancing light in different colors have long puzzled scientists, and there's still no consensus on what causes them, but they're definitely real. They call these lights EQL. Seeing EQL depends on darkness and other favorable factors. He said the video shared from Morocco looked like the earthquake lights caught on security cameras during a 2007 quake in Peru. And they're saying that security cameras has made studying the earthquake lights a lot easier. 40 years ago, it was impossible. He said if you said you saw them, nobody would believe what you saw. Earthquake lights can take several different forms. Sometimes the lights may appear similar to ordinary lighting, or they may be like a luminous band in the atmosphere, akin to polar aurora. Other times they resemble glowing spears floating midair. They may also look like small flames flickering or creeping along or near the ground, or larger flames emerging from the ground. A video taken in China shortly before 2008 shows luminous clouds floating in the sky. To better understand earthquake lights, these colleagues gathered information on 65 American and European earthquakes associated with trustworthy reports of earthquake lights dating back to 1600, and they shared their work in a 2014 paper. The researchers found that some 80% of the EQL occurrences studied were observed for earthquakes with magnitudes greater than 5.0. In most cases, the phenomenon was observed shortly before or during the seismic event and was visible up to about 372.8 miles from the quake epicenter. Earthquakes, particularly powerful ones, are most likely to occur along or in the vicinity of the areas where tectonic plates meet. However, the 2014 study found that the vast majority of earthquakes linked to luminous phenomena occurred within tectonic plates rather than at their boundaries. So they go on to talk about how they occur. I think I posted this on my profile if anybody wants to
There's
look
a
into this
video.
more. Yeah, there's a video. So they're mysterious. I'm just gonna post it on my page. So you guys can if you're interested, you can look at all the rest of all that. But it's a trip.
Remember the other day? Speaking of weird, I mean, it wasn't like this, where you got these weird lights coming down. But remember the other day when I said it was just thundering, like just rumbling, just nonstop, just rumble, 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 nonstop. It did that. I don't know how long.
When you sent the video, you said at that point it was like 25 minutes or something so far.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I told my mom about that. That was weird. It was like one continuous rolling thunder sound.
Thought I might have it in my videos here.
I hear that too. I don't know what that noise is.
Cricket noise.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it was me if it was a few years ago because I used to have several thousand crickets, but don't have any crickets now.
Good night. Good night, Lori. My cards should come tomorrow. My new Moonology deck.
I got a crystal video of the week.
I'd have to spend more money.
Yep.
He's like, yep.
Let's see. Where is it at? That's the question. I thought I had it pulled up here.
So Black Zapper. Linda says I need the story of the crickets. Like, why do you have 100,000 crickets?
Oh, because I used to have bearded dragons and I used to raise leopard geckos. And yeah, they eat crickets. So yeah, I would get crickets 1,000 at a time. Live.
Pinheads.
Yeah. And you know, if you got 1,000 crickets, occasionally one of them sneaky little bastards gets out, and then you have crickets in your house, and you're sitting there watching a movie, and you got a little Jiminy Cricket over there in the corner, just having a hoedown, having a cricket.
One of my cats loved them. Like they thought, I don't remember which cat, but they thought a cricket was like as good as a cat treat, like a really good cat treat.
Yep.
So, I'd find all these like random crickets in weird ass places, but the cat would find them like, oh yeah, cat treat.
Yep.
And then my ex-husband would like actually give them like throw it down for her to go check. I'm like, don't do that. Don't give her the damn cricket.
Yeah. Yep. I used to order them. I'd get a box of crickets, live crickets, 1,000 crickets. And I'd go through those pretty quick. We'd pretty much mow through them because those little suckers like to eat, especially the bearded dragons, man. They can suck down quite a few crickets. And I was at work, that's when I used to work at the kite shop out of the beach. And my boss was like, next time you order crickets, order 2,000, get 2 boxes. And I'm like, why? He's like, because I want to take a whole box of crickets and stick them, release them in Pat's car. Yeah, because it was like practical joke headquarters there. So he wanted to get an extra 1,000 crickets so he could put them in our buddy's car.
That's funny.
I'm like, dude, you realize
what's going to happen?
He might kill you.
Yeah. He'd have to bomb the car. Then you have dead cricket carcass all in your vents and shit. That would be.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mm.
You have to get rid of the car.
Yeah, we used to do all kind of stuff to each other. My boss lived in a gated community. And I mean, he was the practical joker. It was fun working with that whole crew. I had a good time. But I mean, you couldn't. It was kind of nerve-wracking because you never knew what was going to happen at any given moment, of any given day, at any given time, whether there was customers in the store or not. It didn't matter. And we all used to prank the UPS man and the mailman and like everybody. I'm like, dude, the UPS man, he was this little bald-headed grumpy guy. I'm like, he's literally going to come in here with a gun one day and shoot all of us.
Like going postal.
Yeah, he's pissed. But yeah, it was our boss went to work and it was funny. I'm like the fat guy. I sat in a plastic lawn chair one day in there, and it was on
Oh
tile,
no.
and the legs went
Oh no.
boom, and the whole thing exploded. So, I got the fat guy in a plastic chair jokes every day
Oh,
for like the
of
next couple
course.
weeks, and they had it on video, so they'd show everybody that came in, and
No.
then I took the pieces of the plastic chair, and we had really tall ceilings. I came in real early one day, unlocked the store, went in there. My plan was set into motion. I took all those pieces of the plastic chair and took fishing line and hung them from the ceiling and made a broken red plastic chair mobile. When the air conditioner came on, it would make it spin. And it was all these broken pieces, and it was right over his desk. Right over his desk. So yeah, that plastic chair made it all over the place. I came in one day and it's all like in my desk area, like all like glued to the wall and stuff. So he went away on vacation. He lived in a gated community. So I just found these pictures the other day somewhere too on my computer. We put the plastic chair, we glued it all back together to somewhat a lawn chair, and we put it on the very top of his roof, and then put a for sale sign with his number, for sale sign by owner, for house for sale by owner, and with his number. And they're on vacation. They're like in Aruba or somewhere.
Oh
And
my God.
you're getting all these calls about, people inquiring about
You
the
get
house,
by the house.
and the neighbors like wondering what the hell's going on. Why is there a red chair on top of your house? Why is it for sale? Yeah,
So they go home and they know it's you.
he was freaking out.
That's your calling card.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was nothing. It was nothing. Like one day I'm driving down the road, and I always get in the car, crank it up, turn the music up, got the music going. I'm driving down A1A. I'm like, what the hell is that noise? I like turn the radio down, and I'm hearing this. What in the hell? I pull over in the St. Johns County Pier parking lot, which there's an event going on, and there's like hundreds of people everywhere. And here comes Rob in his truck, sounding like sleigh bells and shit, jingling, jangling. I get out. I crawl my fat ass under the truck. And we used to get skateboards and land boards and everything. And we used to sell tons of those things. And with every one of those land boards came a toolkit because you had to put it together.
I can't breathe.
There's crescent wrenches and all kinds of wrenches. So, we had like 500 crescent wrenches and wrenches at the store from all these boards. So I get under my truck and I look, and here it is, zip tied underneath my truck, a shitload of crescent wrenches that are all jangling on the freaking ground when I drive. And it was zip tied with a big ass thick zip tie. So I got nothing. I can't break it with my hand. I got no knife.
Nothing in it.
Yeah. So what I did, I'm like, oh, screw it. I just got back in the car and drove away. I'm driving out of the parking lot. My truck sounded like a music box. That was any given day where I used to work. That was just one of the thousands of things that would happen there. One kid that worked there, he was like the newbie kid. So, of course he had to go through, initiation pretty much. So it started with a friend of mine that worked there, really good friend, still is. He used to work there. He went on vacation and he was only supposed to be gone for like a week or so. And he turned it into like 3 weeks. And I'm like, when's that son of a bitch coming back from vacation, man? So I'm like, okay, that's it. I went over across the street to the grocery store and I bought like 10 boxes of aluminum foil. And I aluminum foiled everything in his entire desk area. Phone, stapler, the wall, the computer, the screen, everything was covered in tin foil. So he came back to his shiny silver office. He was like, "Ah, sons of bitches." So I come in the next morning, and there is a very authentic, correct
Yeah.
anatomy, like a perfect big tinfoil dick on my desk, balls and all. And I was like, damn, you're really good at sculpting dicks out of tinfoil, because that's pretty, yeah, I mean, it's bigger than normal, but it's pretty much on the money. So, of course, the tinfoil dick made it the rounds, and the new kid that shows up there for work, he's a young kid, still living at home with his parents. And his mom was like kind of real strict religious type lady. I think I've told this before. My boss, the owner of the place, goes out and zip ties the tinfoil dick to his front bumper on his car. He drove away. Didn't say anything. No. He came back to work the next day. Tinfoil dick was still on the front of the car. And we're like, has he seen it and not cared?
Did he not?
Or has he not seen it? Then we were all wondering, like, does he like the tinfoil dick, or does he just hasn't seen it yet? No one said anything. Hey, you got a giant dick on the front of your car.
Nobody honked. Like, roll down your window, dude. You got a dick on your bumper.
It's a dick on your car.
You got a dick on your bumper.
Well, we had it parked out there in the shop, in the parking lot all day, but it was kind of up against the wall, so nobody really saw it. Nobody said anything. He got in the car, go leave, and we're like, surely he's going to see it. He didn't see it. Got in the car and he left. Comes back the next morning. No dick on his car. Comes in and he's like, which one of you assholes put the dick on my car? And we were laughing because we told him it had been there for a couple of days, which made him even more mad because he thought it was only there for the night.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I came home and I parked in the driveway and my mom's in the kitchen looking out the kitchen window.
He's rolling up with this big.
Yeah. His religious mom is the one that saw a dick on the front of his car, and he had to explain that.
Like
So,
horns on the front of a Cadillac. He comes up with a big silver dick.
Yeah, and we were always doing, air horn under the chair. So when you sat in and leaned back, it was like bang! Air horn.
Driving?
No, this is just in the office.
Oh, I was going to say that's going to cause an accident.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm seriously surprised that the UPS man didn't shoot us, because he would come to the shop and like he'd come and he'd always open the back door, because he was always grumpy if we didn't have all the packed packages like outside waiting for him. If he actually had to come in and get them, he was always pissed and he yanked the door open. So one day, again, the owner of the place stacks up all this PVC and these like conduit pipes and stuff. UPS man comes, whips open the door, and all that shit falls. It's all hitting him in the head and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's gonna come and kill us all, man. He would tie like empty 5-gallon buckets to the truck. He'd drive off, things like dragging down the road. Oh man, it was practical jokes got out of control there. So when I was doing my live the other day, when I was testing my mic and doing the live Facebook video, one of my friends stopped in there, and he actually used to live with me for a while, and he used to live here, and we were talking about during the live some of the things that happened. We had this big kite festival that me and him ran, and like the end of the day, it was a 2-day weekend, and set up Friday and then ran it Saturday and Sunday. The end of Sunday, we're like exhausted. And again, Daryl, the owner of the kite shop, we had hamburgers and hot dogs and all kinds of stuff. And there's a bunch of extra hot dogs left.
Oh, wow.
And Daryl came over to my friend Mark's truck and stuck all these like hot dogs on his antenna on his truck. And I saw it, and I was laughing. I saw him doing it and I was laughing. But then I forgot about it. Completely forgot about it. And at the end of the day, we're all delirious. And there's a group of us, and we were like, let's go down to Beef O'Brady's and, grab a beer or a drink or whatever and, chill out and talk about it. We get down there and we're in the parking lot and me and Mark are talking and he's just like, yeah, I was going to say, what the? He finally saw it. I was laughing so hard I was about to pee in my pants. His whole antenna is just like, he was driving down the road and his antenna was like, with these hot dogs on it.
Seagulls chasing you.
Yep. Yeah, it was Practical Joke City there. I don't know how I got started on that, but.
Oh, yeah, your video.
Share the screen. Let's share the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps to share the screen. Here we go. This week's crystal of the week. Okay, let's try that again. This week's crystal of the week. This week's crystal of the week is lithium quartz. Where does lithium quartz come from? This variety of quartz is usually found in one main place in Brazil. It's called lithium quartz because these stones are known to contain lithium, but they also may contain other minerals included in the quartz other than lithium. This is why some stones have a lighter or darker color than others, as minerals such as manganese, aluminium, iron, and kaolinite may be present in some stones. While many of these stones do not contain high amounts of lithium in them, due to resonance of the quartz crystals, they will feel like they are much stronger crystals. These stones usually occur prismatic quartz crystals with a number of different quartz configurations possible, including candle quartz. They have inclusions of lavender, lilac, pink, or pinkish gray minerals within them, and many of these stones are phantom quartz, which are quite lovely phantoms showing within the crystals. Lithium quartz has a sweet, calming energy that is highly effective to help stress and tension. Used in meditation, it takes you easily to higher realms. It helps you make heartfelt spiritual connections that have an amazing beauty and depth. It's an excellent meditation stone that will heighten profoundness of your inner journey, and the vibration of this stone may help with depression and anxiety. It's a beautiful crystal, and not just to look at, as it helps support spiritual growth. Its energy will move throughout your entire body, healing areas of the aura that need help and activating all of the chakras. This is a wonderful stone for healers to use, as is to wear, as it helps to create a peaceful and harmonious space for healing. The energy that resonates from lithium quartz crystal is known to easily move from your hands first to your heart chakra, where it creates profound and deep affinity. It then moves on up to make a strong third eye connection. You can actually feel it like a pulsation moving through you as it moves up and connects within your third eye chakra. From there, it will flow into all areas of the body nearby, stimulating the brain with a gentle yet easily felt energy. This is a sweet, beautiful energy, calming and soothing, yet strong enough that you can easily feel it moving. From the third eye, it makes its way into the higher chakras. The energy then moves up to the crown chakra to make a connection at the soul star chakra, as well as the higher transported chakras to awaken one's higher self. The stone's energy is softer than many strong crystals, although that sounds like a contradiction, What this is referencing to is the softness of the type of energy they embody. These lovely lavender crystals are simple to use, and they easily link you to any of the chakras simply by holding them in your hand. You can easily feel the energy in your hands, and you will feel it move through the body. It's a truly lovely crystal, not just to look at. This delightful crystal is agreeable stone to wear on your body, and it helps you calm, as in one of the ways to relieve your stress. It will also help you keep an ongoing connection to your higher self. Lithium quartz is on the zodiac birthstone list as the Aquarius birthstone. So you may find that you're able to get jewelry made from this stone. The piece shown in this picture or pictures are quite special formations, as it's phantom quartz, and they're quite common to find these crystals structured in this way. Lithium quartz is thought to be one of the most helpful crystals for people who suffer anxiety and panic attacks, especially people on medication. It's said to reduce stress and emotional tensions. It's also said to keep nightmares away and bless us with added bonuses of harmony and healthy connection to nature, as well as healing repressed anger and grief. Lithium is also said to activate and balance all of our chakras and also facilitates deep, restful sleep. It can calm frayed nerves, allowing you to relax properly and become grounded. Lithium quartz can support those who use antidepressants and drugs for mental health issues. The vibration of this stone is one profound emotional healing and peace. Just a little caveat here. It's very important to cleanse your new piece of lithium quartz when you first receive it. I've heard people keep this in their car to ease road rage. People keep it on their nightstand or under their pillow for help in sleeping. I have a few pieces myself now, and I carry it with me now. So hopefully it'll help me from having those daily freakouts that we can all have every once in a while. So there's a little bit about lithium quartz crystal of the week. Bada bing, bada boom. There's a piece of it right there.
Pretty reasonably priced too.
Yeah, it's not expensive. Not too bad. This is like one of the little tumble pieces. This is the one that I usually keep in the car, keep in my pocket, side of the bed. It was like $5 or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if it's the medication that I'm on or what, but I've been, I had a few little more freakouts than normal in the last month or so. So I started.
Your patience is just because I'm carrying crystals like this too, and things like for helping. I'm finding myself getting a lot more anxious. Like I got so mad the other day. Way more mad at a situation than I normally would.
Yep. I can't believe it's after 2:00 already. Is it really?
But you feel it working?
The crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. During that whole time, it's weird. I've had a headache for the last few days. I was telling Jamie before the show. I had to lay down earlier today. And I got it like during Paranormal Soup Sunday night. I felt fine, and then all of a sudden my head just started pounding. And but during that whole video, I was sitting here with this piece of lithium on my forehead right there, and I swear my head feels better now. Could be a placebo effect. I don't know. Maybe the lithium soaked through my skull and into my brain, and it's calmed me.
It vibrated into your brain.
Yep. Who knows? But my head does actually.
If it's working, it's working.
Exactly. Placebo or not. Does it work? Yeah. Okay, fine. Well, cool. Time flew by tonight. We'll have to do some card work next week.
Yeah. So I'll have the new Moonology deck.
Yeah. Is that Moonology? Is it Moonology 2 or is it Moonology? What is it called?
Yes. The first one is just regular Moonology. There's the manifestation. And this one is called.
That's the first one, right?
Yeah, that's the first one.
Okay, yeah.
Messages.
Okay.
Which I thought was cool too, because it just kind of has like embrace uncertainty, focus, mystery. I don't know, it's just another one to go with the Moonology.
Cool.
We shall see.
We shall see. Cool. All right. Well, y'all have a great rest of your week. And probably see you on Sundays. Paranormal Soup. And then we'll be back again for another episode of Weird Wednesday.
Good night.
Nighty night. Sleep tight. Don't let the creepy bed bugs bite.
Oh, it's 11:11. Make a wish. You have to
Oh,
make
yeah.
it